Hello, my name is Paulina, and I'm going to present my individual proposal evidence. The first main component that we have to consider for this problem situation is that we have to evaluate the different stages of beer production where we want to integrate the mesquite, considering aspects of how mesquite contributes specifically to carbohydrates or sugars, depending if it's used in mashing or fermentation. Also, since the process that is currently used is fairly simple, we have to develop a mesquite integration process that doesn't rely on advanced lab equipment and that can be done on an operation plant. The third aspect to consider is that the transportation of other types of flavorings that is not mesquite is expensive compared to locally sourced resources, which therefore represents a negative impact on the environment CO2 emissions, and also it heightens the cost. And finally, we have to assess overall the need for identifying areas for improvement in sustainability, efficiency, and quality. The information that we see here was what was provided from the brewers to us, and I think that it was enough for us to prepare a solution proposal. I also believe that thanks to the information, I the process and needs of how Metabrewers produces beer, but also thanks to the fact that they did not specifically detail the use of mesquite in beer, allowed me to take a broad view of the possibilities, and also gave us the freedom to investigate and propose ideas not depending on something previously stated. Regarding viability, here you can see a graph of comparison with the norms and parameters in Mexico compared to our resulting beer. We can see that it complies with almost everyone except for turbidity, which for this we recommend a more effective filtration process to be executed. It also proposes a simple infusion process, which is simpler than the commonly used step scalinated process, and this can save energy and time. Also, our beer exhibits an appropriate and good aromatic and flavor profile. And finally, it adheres to sustainable practices through the use of local mesquite and also to bioethical standards by giving raw material, which is mesquite, a new and added value. Here we can see the norms that can be applied to our process. The first one explains the experimental values that must be obtained for the beer to be marketable. The second one is applicable because in the case of the product being marketed, it must include aspects such as the ingredients, alcohol content, and nutritional information, as well as the microbiology quality. And the third one focuses more on environmental protection, such as ensuring responsible mesquite harvesting. In the short term, changing processes can involve immediate costs because of implementing new techniques and procedures and obtaining new equipment. This impact could affect profitability in the short term, although you can use some of the same equipment in the traditional brewing for mesquite extraction, it must still be considered. In the midterm, the introduction of an unconventional flavored beer like mesquite could take some time to gain market acceptance and popularity, but once it is known by the market, the profit will stabilize and grow from that point on. Regarding the long term, climate change affects agricultural conditions, so the availability and quality of mesquite could be affected in the nearby regions. This is why it is important to consider sustainability so that the proposed beer can continue to be locally sourced.